Anyway, can we just talk about this for a minute? I'm still getting my head around. Travis, do we know how this letter got leaked? Finally, this resignation letter. We know now why Alvin Bragg didn't.
No, there's not. Yeah, there hasn't been.
Didn't release this, but okay. First of all, Mo Brooks hello, DOJ, January 6th, Mo Brooks has to testify, right? It's just, I don't know how many nails we need in this coffin of Trump's guilt, but this one, a former prosecutor who investigated Trump said in his resignation letter that Trump is guilty of, quote, numerous felony violations. Mark Pomerantz quit, as we know, after Alvin Bragg thwarted his attempt to indict Trump. Kerry Dunn was the second prosecutor, also resigned. In his letter obtained by the New York Times, I guess? Yeah, New York Times. Pomerantz said Trump has committed multiple felonies. The decision not to indict is a grave failure of justice. His resignation letter expresses the belief that Trump could have been convicted, and the decision not to prosecute is contrary to public interest. The Times reported they had originally planned to charge Trump with scheme to defraud, but later switched to a plan of charging him with falsifying business records. Mr. Pomerantz and Mr. Dunn planned to charge Mr. Trump with falsifying business records, specifically his annual financial statements, a felony in New York State. The team that has been investigating Mr. Trump harbors no doubt about whether he committed crimes. He did. No case is perfect. Whatever the risks of bringing the case may be, I'm convinced that a failure to prosecute will pose a much greater risk in terms of public confidence in the fair administration of justice. Karl, does this change anything? Does this put public pressure on Alvin Bragg? Do you think
I certainly hope so.
Somebody said, I hope the DOJ is paying attention, but I feel like it's like a game of ping pong. We're like, oh, DOJ's not doing anything. Okay, well, it's New York better prosecute. Oh, okay, back to the DOJ. I mean, when are we getting some justice regarding this lifelong criminal?
Well, I certainly hope that the Attorney General's office in the U.S. here, in D.C. and in New York are paying attention. I can't wait to hear what Glenn Kirshner thinks about this, but it fills in some of the gaps that we've been wondering about, right?
Yeah.
We were worried perhaps that these prosecutors were leaving for other reasons, and this confirms some of the rumors that were out there, that they were, that they left because basically for interference. They weren't able to do their job. And I think it's time for the evidence to come out too that backs up this letter.
Yeah. So obviously, Travis, I don't know if we have confirmed reports. There's reports that Russia has used phosphorus against civilians. I don't know if that. I just heard that this morning.
I don't know that's been confirmed.
I don't know that it's been confirmed yet. But Karl, it is. Obviously the president is overseas because we are just watching in slow motion this genocide, and I don't know.
A war criminal with support from the Republican noise machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, I guess this is a terrible question to ask in the middle of a genocide, but I mean, politically, do Republicans pay no price for being traitors, for being used, for whether it's what's his name, Madison Cawthorn or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Donald Trump being used as Kremlin propaganda, parroting their talking points?
I think Madison Cawthorn is paying a price back home. I don't know how firm that price will be fixed. Republicans tend to have a very short memory when they have problems with each other. So I don't know how firm these views will be fixed when they're not happy with each other. I don't think the voters, we'll see where this goes. I think Biden is handling this very well. I think the American public are seeing him handle it well. Polling reflects that. Our standing in the world reflects that among foreign leaders and foreign countries. But the American people, they don't really pay attention to international stuff. Look at the parallels between what Trump was impeached for the first time and where we are now, right? And I would bet you most Americans have not made the connection.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. So I think the only way they will pay a price on this is if we force them. All said and done, there need to be congressional investigations that kind of blueprint out exactly what happened here, and what impact Russian government agents or whatever had on influencing folks. We've seen for years using RT for those fancy dinners that they used to have, supporting RT with American politicians attending them, and usually third party folks, but sometimes Republicans or Democrats, and all of that stuff needs to be looked through. It's highly unfortunate.
Yeah, okay. I know. I don't even. It's hard to. I just never thought we would see this. We have Republicans being used literally as Kremlin pawns, and it just okay.